on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. And what's the one thing that a lot of people don't do well? Well, it's merging. When you merge on the interstate, you see all those people that are going way too slow, having trouble getting over. But there's a phone called the Merge that is an awesome Android phone. That was a really bad transition, but you get my point. HTC Merge with US Cellular. It's a new phone. It was coming to Verizon, or we thought it was coming to Verizon, and all of a sudden it popped up on some of the regional carriers like Alltel, US Cellular. Yes, Alltel is still around, but Alltel and US Cellular, and it's here, and it offers a full QWERTY keyboard for those that send a lot of text messages. Now, is this the phone to get? Should you go with the HTC Desire or even the Samsung Mesmerize on US Cellular? We'll find out in the full review. Let's go to the internet on this just to see how the browsing is and overall performance, and we'll go to PhoneDog, which is everybody's favorite site, or you better be if you're watching this video, PhoneDog.com. And while I'm loading it up, special thanks to our friends at Best Buy. You know, they hook us up with a bunch of devices. We give them to you in our One Paw Bandit game, and they're not low-end devices. I mean, they're super high-end Thunderbolts, Revolutions, Droid Charges, Evo 3Ds, and more. So when you go to Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working, they'll help you set up what I'm doing right now, your web, your email, and more. So kudos to them. Thanks for hooking us up with those devices that we give to you guys for free. So it's a win-win on your end. Thanks for Best Buy Mobile, or thanks to Best Buy Mobile, rather. So PhoneDog's loading up right now, and obviously I'm roaming, like I said, but I am running an EVDO Revision A connection. So it's 3G, and it's probably roaming off of Verizon right now. You know, so 3G, even at EVDO Revision A, is not going to be particularly fast. But you can see the page is loading up right now. Now, one thing I like about Sense, and I point this out in every one of the Sense videos, and when you get a stock Android experience and you go to open a second window, it's pretty bland. You just see text icons, and you know, you can add a second page, but then when you go back, it's just two different text boxes that you can click on. With this, you get a nice preview of what you're expecting. So if you've zoomed in, you know, as far as you can on my beautiful face, what a joke, my face, and it's right there on the PhoneDog page, and you go to a second page, when you come back over here, the preview is going to be of my face. So, you know, it's nice. It gives you that preview, lets you pick up where you left off on whatever page. So if you're in the middle of reading an article, you know, go to Windows, it'll bring up a preview of that article, and then I can go back over here to whatever page, US Cellular's page, or whatever it is I'm loading up. So I'm going to get rid of that one. So PhoneDog loads just a little bit faster, and we'll wait for that to load up. Now, obviously, portrait and landscape transitions are reasonably quick. So again, it's not a slow device by any means, but you look at this in comparison to, you know, a dual-core 1 GHz processor, or 1.2 GHz, or heck, even something like the Infuse 4G, which has a single-core 1.2 GHz processor. It's just a little bit outdated in the processor department. So, you know, it's unfortunate that it's coming out like that. But again, for international capabilities and for keyboard capabilities, this thing is huge, and it's going to be huge for somebody that travels a lot that wants that physical QWERTY keyboard. So obviously the page is loading up right now, and you'll see what I mean when I go down here and I go over here and focus on these pictures, let's say, and I open up a second window. You can see how it focuses in, and I know right where I left off. So when I click on it, it brings it right back up. So here's the page overall, and it's not fully loaded yet, but you can see overall responsiveness, even while loading, is reasonably fast. Pinch to zoom reasonably fast, little to no lag there, and it's right on par with some of the other single-core 1 GHz, 1.2 GHz, like on the Infuse 4G. It's definitely, you know, a reasonably speedy experience. Quick transitions from portrait to landscape as well, with little to no lag. So all in all, the browser, pretty good experience over here, and I was hoping to wait for it to finish loading, but I don't think. We've got to jump on to some other things here because I want to cover as much as possible in the video. But even like I said, fully, you know, it's not fully loaded, but you can see definitely responsive. So advertisements loading up right now, and the bottom of the page is loading up as well. So pinch to zoom looks good in the browser. Now, a couple things I want to point out. Obviously, when you work with HTC Sense, you get this nice Sense overlay, and it really transitions to everything. From the phone, I wanted to make sure that none of my contacts were showing up. I couldn't remember if I'd synced my work account to this or not. But you can see, when you go into phone, for example, you can see the dial pad looks different than the stock Android experience. And you can see over here, go in here into call history, all these various places, go into all, my contact card, call history. And then I go back here to the dial pad, and you can see how different it looks from a stock Android experience. So a little bit of a difference there. Also, you see it when you go into applications like People. I mean, it's a through and through carrier or manufacturer installed overlay, rather. It's not, you know, just on a basic level. I mean, it goes all the way down into contacts. I mean, Sense completely overtakes the Android experience, and they've done a really good job with Sense. But that's going to be a love-hate thing, because some people may want the stock Android experience, and you can see just in the contacts list here, it looks completely different. I wish I had my Nexus S in my office with me, or I'd show you, you know, some of the differences between stock Android and what you're seeing here with HTC Sense over Android 2.2. So again, here's contacts. You can add some cool stuff, add more information like birthdays, IM, postal address, events, and more. So you get a couple of different options in your contacts. And then just to jump into calendar real quick and show you what that looks like. And then again, that's a little shortcut, which I don't think I showed in part 1 of the video, but a pretty cool feature nonetheless. We'll go into here into calendar, and you can see what it looks like. And you can see because it's showing me, because we're on Thursday, it's showing me the weather right now in Charlotte, and I can scroll over to Friday as well. See the thunderstorm, surprise, no thunderstorms. And then all the way down for the next couple of days, I can see the weather on the bottom. Now I can switch that to a month view, an agenda view, a week view if I want to. Nothing on the agenda at the moment on this particular phone. And then here's the month view. So you can see huge, heavy Sense customizations all across the board with all of these different applications. But you can see a couple of different things I like about Sense. They bundle in some cool things like FriendStream. Now this is a big one for me. I like FriendStream. I'm not logged into any social networks right now, but I can synchronize. It's kind of an aggregation software tool where I can bring in Twitter, bring in Facebook, bring in MySpace, all into one convenient application that comes along with a pretty nifty widget that I'll show you. We'll remove that, and then we'll bring up the FriendStream widget. And let's find it. There it is, FriendStream HTC. And I can do one of two. I can either do the smaller one or the bigger one. I'll load that up. So now that when I get my social networks plugged in, phonedog_Aaron, Facebook.com/phonedogab, all of those different ones, it'll show all of the updates right here in one easy to use widget. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to see, social integration. I mean, if you watch their advertisements, it's really all about you. They want you to customize the device and get it set up the way you like it with your social networking and more. So it's a nice addition. That's something that's been in Sense for some time. Let's load up Quadrant Standard to see what the score is in comparison to some of the other high-end Android devices on the market. So we'll see, overall call quality on this device. I've tested it, and obviously, like I said, I'm not in U.S. Cellular coverage area, so you can't really talk about U.S. Cellular network performance, but I've been really pleased with the overall call quality on this device. Receptions look decent. I can tell that the wireless radio is pretty decent in this device. The earpiece is nice and loud, which is a big one for me. I don't know if I'm deaf or going deaf or what's going on, but I like a loud earpiece because it makes it easier to hear a lot of my callers. Maybe my friends are soft-spoken. I don't know. But the earpiece is nice and loud on this device. Speakerphone, the same as well. I'd say it's a reasonable speakerphone, and I had no problems with it. Battery life, a little iffy on this device. With moderate use, text messaging, emailing, downloading apps, browsing the web, making some phone calls. I was able to make it until about 7 o'clock. I took it off at 9 o'clock in the morning and made it until about 7 before the battery died. Now with moderate, light to maybe a little bit of moderate use, or low moderate use if you will, you should be able to make it through the day. Anything more than that, you're going to want to carry a spare charger for that 1400 milliamp hour battery. So we're going to see here what the Quadrant Standard score is. 1310 on the Quadrant Standard front. So mid-range device in terms of processor specs, things like that. Pretty mid-range Quadrant Standard score as well. Right there on par with the Nexus S 4G and a couple of the others. And I hate to, it frustrates me calling those mid-range devices because they're really not. But when you look at dual-core devices, you look at what's come out in the past 2 or 3 months, really it's kind of shifting those down into the to the high mid-range tier as opposed to the high-end tier. So all in all, pretty reasonably fast device. And then we'll load up speed test just to see what Verizon's network speeds look like in this area. And I'm probably going to want to turn off Wi-Fi before I do that because that's going to be a little bit of a lie if I don't turn off Wi-Fi. There we go. Get it back on EVDO, and then we'll go into speed test, and we'll do a quick one here. And you'll notice little interesting things. I'm a sucker for pointing out these little things that most people don't care about, but I do. You can see, for example, no 3G icon. It's EVDO, so it actually shows EVDO as opposed to 3G, which is particularly interesting. You would think that they would want to, most of the world knows what 3G and 4G is, at least what marketing terms have told them. So you kind of expect them to show 3G as opposed to EVDO. Kind of interesting there. But you can see the network speeds are a little less than desirable over here. You're about 400 kilobits per second. So let's just say roughly 0.4 megabits per second. And then on the upload, actually a little bit more, about 0.5 megabits per second. And on the upload, not 67,500 like it's showing here. More like, let's say 100 megabits per second is going to be my guess. 100 megabits per second. You can see 4 bars of service right now, not full service by any means, but still reasonable. 31 kilobits. Maybe I'm running on Sprint at the moment because I know Sprint's been having some network issues at the moment, so it could be those data speeds look more indicative of Sprint than they do Verizon's EVDO Revision A, which usually gets about 1.3 megabits per second in this area. So all in all, don't take that, that's a grain of salt. Don't really associate that with US Cellular. It's a roaming agreement. We're not in US Cellular native coverage right now. But all in all, it's a pretty decent device. And it's less that it's the hot Android phone to get, but it's more the fact that I'm excited about US Cellular's lineup. They're getting a decent high-end, high mid-range to low high-end Android QWERTY. They have the Desire, they have the Mesmerize. They're really working on their Android lineup, and this is another nice addition to that. Is it the phone for you? Well, if you need a powerhouse phone, you really don't need the keyboard. You want something with a bigger display? No, it's not the phone for you. But if you're looking for something with global roaming capabilities, you're looking for something with a physical QWERTY keyboard, you're looking for a device that does pretty decently, not incredible in the battery department, but makes it, for the most part, through a day with light, moderate use, this is your device, the HTC Merge. Much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com. The LG Genesis is here as well, so in the next couple of days, expect a dogfight between those two, between the Genesis and the HTC Merge. Now, we've also started the greatest tech giveaway ever at PhoneDog's Facebook page, so be sure to follow us at Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Head over there, check that like button, make sure you like us, and be sure to enter to win in our giveaway. Follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at my fan page at Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Thanks for watching, as always. We'll see you next time.